to another episode of Tiny Atoll. We are back in our wonderful new project in which we are building a tiny zoo with tiny animals on a tiny atoll. Well, this episode should have started with a wonderful time lapse of me building the next habitat, which is the one just behind us here. However, because I'm in the crazy moment of Jurassic World Evolution 3 launch and have been preparing so much stuff, I occasionally needed to clear some space on my hard drive, and guess what? I did delete the footage of this very episode. I thought I already had rendered this finished, but I did not, because I was missing some little bits in the real-time part, and so I left this in my Premiere Pro as a thing to render. But when I was opening it to put the last bits in, the last cinematics I took, I noticed that the initial footage is gone, and I was like, okay, let's try to repair it, and it did not work. So we are sitting here, and I do a little real-time episode today as a little bit of an excuse. I hope you're fine with this, and also, if you're clicking on this video, you must sit through a little bit of a personal note today, because I'm a little bit sad, I'm a little bit exhausted, I should say, as well. So I'm going back to a project that I'm loving so much and, try to get in with a bit of good vibes. I'm gonna tell you why in a second, but first things first, let's begin the whole thing very positive, because I'm gonna show what happened in comparison to the last episode. So, just as a reminder, last episode we did build this wonderful habitat over here for the little penguin, and it was a huge success. You guys watched this, you guys commented a lot, you guys in general commented a lot on this project. I'm superbly happy about this, so hopefully you are as active today for the next episode. And frankly, this episode was also planned to be during the Jurassic Week. I'll get to that why in a second. But yeah, again, you've been super active, and that I do appreciate a lot, and a lot of comments I can talk about. So specifically, you guys were talking about raising the sea level would cause some issues, and apparently, yes, we are on an atoll, which everything about this atoll is problematic when it comes to a real zoo idea. So again, I'm trying to be as realistic as possible, but then again, it is not realistic to build a zoo on an atoll in the first place. So yeah, I think we don't need to do that much. However, at the end of the episode, I'm gonna show you a little bit of a spot where the overall security shelter for the animals will go, because I talked about that in the last episode already. I will be having, you can actually spot that in the back, there is already that little hill we are going to use. So that hill will receive a bunker in itself, and this is going to become our main maintenance shelter for the whole island, because the idea that all the different habitats won't really have a shelter other than their personal little areas is kind of what I want to completely do for the full zoo. We do tiny animals, they can be transported relatively easily, so yeah, you'll be seeing some of the stuff already built, but let's begin with the most important one, because you guys have been commenting quite a lot about a harbor. So what we do have over here is another entrance. As you can see, there's another entrance to the zoo. There is that wonderful little fishing boat made by Dommel. I think it was by Dommel, I'm not entirely sure if so, or Mr. Duom. I forgot, but I mentioned this in the first episode. So if you watched the first episode, God, I forgot how good the graphics on Planet Zoo look, by the way. Just coming from Jurassic and Planet Coaster 2, you expect this to look worse, just like how it has been with Planet Coaster, but it's not. It's just a very pretty game. It's still holding up super well nowadays. I mean, a couple of the textures don't, but that's fine. Yeah, when we go into the little harbor area, I'm going to quickly show you around. It's nothing particular crazy, but the idea is that, you have like a little boat station over here that you can get to, and then there are a couple of little items here lying around, and you have got these docks and some little ships that just, they're just being here. Nothing too fancy. We've got a little bit of a beach side here. The nature is potentially done a bit more nicer than before. There's an airplane landing still in the background, and that is just very nicely done. But this is not going to be our main harbor. You guys, rightfully so, said that this is going to be a bit of a problematic thing if we don't have a major harbor. And you guys have absolutely, I 100% agree with you. Let's quickly go to the airport, because as you said correctly, the push-through of the airport would be horrifically bad. Like, let's say, per helicopter, maybe like 5 to 6 people could come. We've got 2 helipads, so that is actually, considering we have a couple of helicopters actually doing the transfer from the main island to here, which, I don't know, would be about half an hour flight or so, and then let's say we have like 6 to 7 to maybe 8 helicopters. That's a horrifically bad push through for half an hour considering the flight, you know, and then you go forth and back, it's like 1 hour per tour, and then if we can 8 by 5, it's just like 40 people. That is nothing. That's just for the richest of the richest. And then same goes about the airplane. In the airplane, maybe if it's a bit bigger than you thought it is, maybe per airplane we could have 20-ish people, maybe 30 if we are lucky, but actually more 20-ish people that would fit in a tiny thing like that. So at the end of the day, this whole airport would really struggle already to get 100 people in per hour. That is like, well, actually with the airplanes a bit more. Let's say 200 people per hour is a max, which really is not that great. So we would need something additional, and that is definitely going to be a harbor. Again, it's not that one. This is like a little fishing harbor that is just over here. I just utilized that as an entrance to have multiple spawn points. But what we really want to have is like a big old harbor area where not only you have a harbor, but you also need to be able to rescue people, evacuate the island in case of a big storm or something like that. You would need that. And again, this will be sitting somewhere there. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there in a moment. But yeah, let's get to the habitat. This is the habitat on this side. You can see there is our little friends. And as we were doing Jurassic, I thought they would fit right in here. Look at this gorgeous model. God, I'm so in love with this model. It's such a gorgeous tortoise model. Look at that. My god, the game almost looks like as if it's improved in graphics. Oh my god, it's just so sharp, so nice. That little tortoise is absolutely amazing. It looks so good. You know, we can have a look. This is the African spurred tortoise, and it is Ulubayu. Ulubayu is your name. I gave them a little habitat next to this area here. You can see they can walk through. They have that little tiny canopy to just chill below. You know, I threw in a couple of trash stuff that they would play with, you know, a ball, or like kind of a little couple of boxes here, and there we have like the little shelter with some rubber band or whatever is on the ground where they can rub themselves on. Just like a very neat little habitat. And I sometimes forget how nice this game is in its simplicity. You know, there's really not that crazy much going on in the habitat, but I think it works as a little habitat very well. You know, there's that bit of clutter in here. We have a couple of grass pieces. The rest is just kind of sand where they can move around. We've got some fallen over trees as they can't really climb. It's not really that much of a danger for them to escape, so you can be very gentle on a habitat like that. And just in general, they don't really need that much space because they're not walking so much. However, there still was kind of a bit of an issue here with the fences, so I needed to change a couple things. I'm also wondering why the texture. I think I raised that at some point. I did fix that later on, I'm sure about that. But the texture fighting is a bit of an odd one because I merged too much into each other. I think this is actually 2 fences merged in one, right? No, it's not. Okay, I thought. But anyways, I think it's looking really cool. You know, that one is about to move now. Hello, my friend. How are you doing? Anyways, before we continue, I must do a little note from the sponsor of the channel. You do know that. Because Instant Gaming is the wonderful channel sponsor, and you can grab all your favorite games from that platform. It doesn't matter if it's Planet Zoo, Planet Coaster, Jurassic World Evolution, and all the according DLCs, but you can also get Steam money, you can Xbox Pass money, and all of that for a good discount. And the best part is you have a wonderful support, and in any case, you contact me, I contact them, you'll get whatever you need. And the best part is you get games for a great value, and you do support me directly because I do get a little bit of a kickback. Plus, I reach, hopefully, my targets of the month. At the moment, not that many people seem to need games, but if you do need a game or maybe a little bit of Steam purchase or so, make sure to get it via my link. You don't always need to go to the video. If you saved my link as bookmark at some point, by the way, you can, you know, just use that. Anyways, thank you, as always. I know sometimes these sponsored messages, they are annoying. But trust me, they give me the chance to do what I'm doing over here. The kickback I get from Instant Gaming helps me to do this channel the way I do it. Simply because it frees me a little bit from the pressure to have the views, and, you know, that is a bit of an odd one. And as I was saying at the beginning, I need to get out a little bit of a personal note. I thought because you guys are the core people watching this project, you understand, because you are the ones watching all the videos anyways. Oh, look at this sideline, by the way. Oh god, that's so good. I'm gonna keep this to the sideline because it's so good. Actually, this could become the thumbnail of the channel. It's just really, really pretty. It's really pretty. But yeah. So I had high hopes into the launch of Jurassic World Evolution 3. I genuinely think it is a brilliant, brilliant game. I genuinely think it gives a lot of tools to a game that really needed it, but at the same time had a real lack of tools in the previous game. And now this update gives me a lot of hope for Planet Zoo 2 maybe. And so I took actually 2 weeks off and I prepared so much content, including Tiny Atoll is one of the things I prepared in that time. But seeing how absolutely bad the content performs on my channel really brought me down these days, and I needed to push this episode of Planet Zoo a couple days over because I didn't want to translate my bad mood into the video. But I still wanted to let you know, if there is maybe a little bit of a break or so, it may be because I need to kind of refocus myself. I have really put a lot of hope and effort into that. Actually, I worked my little camel butt off for 2.5 weeks, putting many hours in making sure to really, really have it all made and build a lot of great things that I think I love the content, but then seeing that so little people see it and seeing around me everyone else gets amazing views on that game, it just hurts. I'm gonna be frankly honest with you. I mean, I reached my sub target. Everything I ever wanted was 100,000 subs. We are there. It's fine. I love it. But it's really kind of having the views after such a long time of preparing is kind of an appreciation. And seeing that so little people seem to appreciate that really bummed me. And you can potentially hear that. You know, I'm not a machine, I'm not a robot, I'm not a person who can just go out there and be happy all the day. It really brought me down. I mean, you always have to put it in perspective. You may look at the videos and like, hey dude, they have 10,000 views, that's amazing. Which is right, they're not bad. Like, if you try to put that in perspective of, in general, 10,000 people watch the video, it's amazing. But seeing how many people watch other stuff as well, it obviously raises the question for me, what have I done wrong? What's the problem with the content? Is it maybe because I had too little dinos or whatever, despite the fact literally my first video had every single dino on the game? But that's a different story. So yeah, I was a bit mad, and this is also why I put this video out for the weekend, and hopefully the stuff I have prepared for Jurassic World Evolution for the weekend will do a little bit better. I have another very crazy habitat planned for today, actually, where you guys also see this one, or not habitat, it's actually more than a habitat, it's just a very crazy build. So yeah, in case you're interested for that, check out the channel. It is very nice, and it has to do with a more or less one of the most iconic soundtracks in a game ever. I could try to imitate that, but yeah, maybe you get that. I don't know. Okay, whatever. I'm just like, I've been talking for so long that Tortoise actually made it over here to the boxes. There is like a scent marker somewhere hidden below. That's why they're going there. So yeah, I promised you guys to show you where the harbor goes. Gosh, I'm rambling so much. By the way, that was just some testing and hints for the next episode. But I've been making progress, quite a lot of progress in this project later on, but the harbor idea is to put it all the way here. There we have it. That's a so nice spot for the harbor. It's just like somewhere in the middle. Actually, you know what? We can also fly out here a little. So this, as you can see, is the atoll, and I've thought like, actually, no, that was the wrong spot, by the way. This is the spot for the harbor. This over here is the perfect spot for the harbor, and that centerpiece is going to be the bunker where we can put the animals. Every single atoll will actually receive, not become, it's not becoming a bunker, it will receive a bunker. So that's still, it's so funny. I do know for sure that become means like you become something, blah, blah, blah. But in German, bekommen means receive, which is always like a false friend, as you call it, and that is why you basically it just tricks you into saying that because it sounds correct, but it isn't. Yeah, but that is going to be the idea. Also, there was a question of someone, and I didn't really answer that, and they said like, isn't an atoll basically round? And you guys are obviously right. I mean, they're not like fully round like a perfect circle, but the idea is that this one already is a little bit sacrificed by the rays of the ocean, and it used to be a circle. You can just about see it. It used to be a circle with, you know, with having a bit of a tiny bit to this side and the other side, but it used to be a circle, but now due to the raising sea level, it's been a little bit different in its shape. That's the whole story, you know. Either it's realistic or not, I don't know. But I'm very, very, very curious what you say about the next upcoming episodes, guys. I am very pleased with what we've been doing so far. So the next 2 and actually 3 weeks, they're secured. The next 3 episodes are already recorded as well. So all good. Wednesday is the next episode, and then the week after Wednesday, and then the week after Wednesday. And hopefully we will also have some anniversary stuff. 6 years of Planet Zoo. My God, that is a lot. Yeah, my friends, I really do hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did enjoy it quite a lot as always, and again, if you want to help me out, do something for the channel, you can always use Instant Gaming, as I said, or just watch the videos, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I know that still a lot of people among you guys, the core people, still aren't subbed to the channel. The most of you will actually not know, because YouTube sometimes just randomly unsubs people for whatever reason, or you've always watched my content, you have it always in my feed, and you never notice that you're unsubbed, or not subbed at all. So just double check. It's like, the thing is, for a creator like me, this in the world of hypes and stuff, because videos can now be hyped, which is also a weird thing. Maybe this is a problem. I've never said that, but you can hype my video for whatever it's worth. But this will help smaller creators, which you can still consider me, to be more pushed out. So maybe this is why other videos have been pushed quite a lot. So if you want to hype my videos, you can do this, and well, maybe they're pushed more into the algorithm. So it's almost like pay to win in a way. I hate it. But yeah, you can support in that way, or get an Instant Gaming link, or simply just watch my videos, I guess. I wish you guys a wonderful weekend. I can't wait for the next episode. I'm super excited about this project. And thank you so much as always. Goodbye.